Reverse mortgages,
right?
Well, this is such a gold mine.
Some people it's a game changer.
It makes me want to do it because it's so cool. It's like some person coming to me with a financial dream, be like, this is a scam. How are they gonna pay back the money?
When you sell your home.
Okay. Today, we're gonna talk about reverse mortgages here with Bernard. He's been a mortgage broker for over 7 years, and you probably dealt with over 7 million clients.
Oh, so many clients I couldn't.
Okay, so reverse mortgages, I love this name. It makes me want to do it. Yeah, what's a reverse mortgage?
Reverse mortgage is a specific type of mortgage for people who are 55 years or older.
Okay.
So number one, you gotta be over 55 years of age. It is quite regulated by the government.
Right.
And so it is
Regulated in what form?
as a financial institution. Yeah, so banks would be offering reverse mortgages for seniors and older
yeah,
people.
you can't do it like as an individual, right? It has to be through an institution, is what you mean, regulation.
Absolutely, it has to be through a bank.
Right.
Yeah.
So, okay, 55 and older doesn't really apply to me, but maybe could apply to people who have parents that this can apply to. So, over 55, and what does it do?
So a typical scenario is, let's say you're a young person and you want to buy a property, let's say in Vancouver.
Yeah.
Obviously, you need a pretty big down payment.
Okay.
And so a lot of people, what they do is they go to the bank of mom and dad.
Okay.
And the mom and dad will offer you a lump sum down payment so that you can afford your first home.
Bank of Mom, BOMAD.
Yeah, exactly. Bank of mom and dad.
Does anyone use that acronym, BOMAD?
So the bank of mom and dad will in turn, because they typically have a property already, and so they can leverage that property, take out a reverse mortgage, and provide that down payment for the sons or daughters.
Okay, but a lot of the young people are using their parents' properties as collateral.
Yes. Yes, that's true.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, like why not? Like I was talking about earlier, like if you have a stable income, but you can't take out enough of the loan, why not just use your parents' property as collateral? But why do you have to create a new product called a reverse mortgage? Why isn't it just a regular?
Because that's only one scenario. The other scenario is you can actually access your capital throughout the term of the loan. So for example, let's say you're an elderly person and you've been sitting on a house in Shaughnessy in Vancouver.
Yeah.
You bought it in like 1950 something for 5 figures.
Okay.
And now it's over $4 million.
Okay.
Right.
And is it paid off?
Typically, it is paid off. You could still get a reverse mortgage if you have a small mortgage on it. But typical scenario is you either have a very small mortgage or it's already been paid off.
Yeah.
So you're
And
sitting
what's
in this
small?
gold mine.
Like what amount is small mortgage? Like how much usually needs to be paid off?
Well, I would say maybe under 25%.
Left on the mortgage.
Yeah.
Okay.
But a lot of people, the seniors, they don't, they'll just pay off the mortgage.
Right.
Right.
It's already paid off. Yeah, by 55, you probably have your home paid off.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Very typical.
And then you can access the equity in the home, meaning you're still going to own the home.
Yep.
But you're accessing the equity in what? In a loan?
In a loan, that's right. And so let's say you're a senior and you only, accessing your, not even pension, just your, OH security,
Yeah.
right? So not a lot of money in Vancouver, right? But you want to stay in Vancouver because let's say you've got, kids, you've got grandchildren, you don't want to be too far away from them.
Right.
So you still want to stay in Vancouver and you have this home that you are emotionally attached to, and you have friends or whatever. And so you've got this $4 million home and your monthly, income could be like $1,000, right?
Okay.
So the cost of living in Vancouver, it's quite not sustainable.
Well, what's the difference on this reverse mortgage? So a mortgage is collateral. You have to buy another home with mortgage as collateral, right? But this one is you're saying you can get cash?
Exactly, a monthly cash. You can actually set your own. Let's say, those lotteries where say set for life.
Yeah. You get paid
$1,000 per
Yeah,
week.
Yeah.
You could do that with the reverse mortgage.
Okay, so you're pulling out actually cash, liquid cash out. That doesn't have to go into another home. That's very interesting. But so what is the usual does it follow standard interest rates for reverse mortgage?
Yeah, it's comparable to other interest rate. It might be slightly higher, but not that much higher.
Right.
So it's still a bank in mortgage rate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, okay, let's say, so this is a senior over 55.
Yeah.
And they're accessing money because they're obviously, they need the money.
They
right?
need the money. Yeah.
But if they need the money and they're not generating income, how are they gonna pay back the money?
When you sell your home.
Okay, so they have to. So this is if someone's accessing a reverse mortgage, either after they gotta sell their home, but that means they're not passing it down to their kids.
Well, whatever's left in the so after you pay off the loan,
Right.
the rest of the money
Right.
will go to your estate. Yeah.
That's very interesting. So instead of passing down the entire home to your kids, you're using a portion of the amount for yourself, and then
Your own money, remember, right?
okay, yeah,
You're in control.
it's your own money.
Yeah.
And then when it is time to sell or pass down, then your kids get the remaining amount on the home.
That's right.
I'm not sure if is that a better way to do things these days?
Well, if you want to keep your home, I mean, the other
Yeah.
alternative is if you sell your home, you downsize. So that's
That's
always
actually-
an option.
That's actually, I think, might be a better solution for a lot of families, because a lot of kids, they don't necessarily want the home their parents living in, right? And that's
Yeah.
that has sentimental value. Or if they're only getting a portion of that, they can put the remaining portion of their own money in. So it is definitely gives a lot more flexibility to everyone.
Yeah, absolutely. It is all about choices, right? So reverse mortgage, you got to know what it is and the situation and what you get out of it compared to, let's say, I want to downsize.
Right.
So that's obviously another very viable solution. But there are seniors out there that want to keep their home, or their kid says, I want to keep this nice, $4 million Shaughnessy home.
Whether you're a first-time buyer, seasoned investor, or ready to sell, Prompton Real Estate Services is your go-to partner in Vancouver. Their market knowledge, personalized service, and commitment to success set them apart. Take the next step with confidence. Visit Prompton.com and let Prompton Real Estate Services help you achieve your real estate goals.
So mortgage rates are around what right now?
Just under 5%. Of course, it fluctuates quite a bit.
Well, someone who's investment savvy, and if they really understand what they're doing, why wouldn't they just take it out at a 5% interest rate and then start doing like 10% return investments? Or
Well, that's
15%
what
return
that's what
investments?
people do when they do a mortgage.
Right.
They actually take out the equity from their home
Right.
and invest it elsewhere.
Yeah.
So a lot of people do that.
Because let's say if your home is worth $4 million, that's a lot of equity to invest. It doesn't make sense to let $4 million sit there, right?
Especially if there's no upside to the home.
And a home at that expensive, the appreciation isn't gonna go crazy anymore.
Exactly. Yeah. That's what we've seen in the past few years. The Vancouver houses
Right.
haven't gone up a lot.
That's very
Or
interesting.
if any
So
at all.
we're gonna see many more people pulling out money to use it for other things.
Yep. You
Well,
can-
first of all,
yeah.
people in 4 million homes, they're not gonna be pulling out money to fund their
No, they do, because a lot of the seniors, they've been there for 50 years, right? And the house has appreciated in value.
Okay,
And they want to
so
stay
it was
there.
just cheap back then.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, they didn't buy it because they had money. They bought it because it was cheap.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
Well, this is such a gold mine and then we're talking about wealth transfer as well. A lot of families with this option that weren't already wealthy before have a chance to become wealthier and pass it down. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because if it was just the value of the home pass down and you just sold it, well, yeah, you could just sell it. It's just a lot of it's unliquid, right? And now it's providing so much liquidity. And this is a new program.
Oh, no. It's been there for decades.
Oh,
Yeah. It's just that not a lot of people know about it.
why don't they know about it? It should apply to a lot of. Well, the thing is, I don't know how many people it applies to, because most of the people in Vancouver, when they buy a $4 million home, they probably bought it at a pretty expensive price already.
Yes,
And
that's right.
to do that, they already have. They're pretty wealthy. They don't need to pull that money out.
Yeah.
Well, how many people in Vancouver really bought it that long ago and really need the money now?
Well, you'd be surprised how many seniors, and with the population aging, a lot of people sitting in a lot of equity.
Right. Well, with this thing, you also need to be you need a good advisor to help you manage those investments.
That's right. So I always encourage people to talk to a mortgage broker or your banker and explore your options.
Right.
Right. This is one of many options to plan, how you want to live your rest of your life.
Right.
Because some people, it's a game changer. Like living off $1,000 a month versus $2,000 a month.
Yeah.
Right. It's a game changer.
$1,000 you're pulling it's actually very little, and you're not paying much back, right? 1,000, so that's $12,000 a year, and 5%. That's
Whatever. Yeah.
$600.
Yeah.
And then if you just properly invested it, he's no
Oh,
problem
yes.
paying $600 a year.
Yeah, so you have a choice of either, or you can either do the lump sum, like take out a big lump sum payment,
Right.
or you could do in periods, right?
Well, most of these seniors that are taking out this money, do you think what is the majority? The seniors who take this out money and go like, okay, I'm gonna cash flow it so that it can have generational wealth, or do they just take it out and go like, I'm just gonna use it, enjoy my life, and whatever's left, they can have it?
More like the latter.
Oh, really?
If they take it, I mean, we've heard so many stories of seniors who did not realize that there is a product out there that can improve their lifestyle.
Yeah.
Right. It's the quality of life. Some seniors don't even. It's kind of sad, but they can't even afford nice stuff for their pets.
Yeah.
Like, they have pets and they're literally crying now that they have extra money. Every month they're like, now I can actually treat my pet a little bit better, right? Or fix a little bit of my house because it's in such a poor shape. So,
I mean, it makes sense for every senior who needs the money to do this, because you should, unless you're in a terrible downfalling economy, but you'll almost always be at least making back that interest, right? And you have money to spend.
Yeah.
But it's hard. How do you convince people who are over 55 or like 60, 70 to do this thing they've never done before?
it's not a matter of convincing, it's educating, right?
Yeah. Well,
It is
it's not easy to educate people at that age. They're already like stable. They don't want to think about new things.
Well, just talking to them, it reveals a lot of things. Like what's wrong, like what are the issues that are bothering them, right?
Yeah.
Some people couldn't sleep at night because their finances are not in, not in good
I wouldn't
shape.
imagine like let's say if it was a 60, 70-year-old grandma, I wouldn't imagine either like there's some person coming to me with a financial dream and then it's like, oh, this is great, that I'm gonna be like, this is a scam, right?
Well, that's the misconception, right? A lot of people think, oh, reverse mortgage is a scam. But again, talk to a financial advisor, talk to somebody, right? And just be educated.
Then this is well, not all children should do it, but children who have parents who have access to this and are smarts. Actually, I would advise most people not to do that, but they should take some of the money out from their parents' house and like use it.
Yeah, if there's a
invest
need,
it,
right?
yeah.
It comes back to what is your need, right? If there is a need, there is a solution out there.
But this is interesting. So, but if the kids need to buy a house, they shouldn't use. I don't think they should use this reverse mortgage tool. It's too
Not necessarily.
valuable. Just use a normal mortgage collateral tool, right?
Yep. Yeah. That's always an option. Especially if you're under 55, you don't qualify at all, right? Yeah, it'll be just a normal mortgage where you would take an equity out of it as down payment. To buy another place.
So what do you see as like the biggest thing right now? Like, what percentage of people who need reverse mortgages are using reverse mortgages?
Very, very little,
Like 10%?
if that, right?
Oh, really?
Yeah. We're seeing a lot of uptake of people who are interested in the product, that's for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, because to me, it just makes sense that if you have access to this tool and it's a wealth generation tool, a cash flow, I think it's a cash flow tool too. But yeah, it's hard to convince people because people who need that money are people who weren't that investment savvy, right? So they weren't gonna do that already. And people who don't need that money, like, don't need it because they knew how to make money.
And here's the other thing, right? Is with the cost of living being so high with inflation, people are caught off guard, right? So whatever that they have in terms of their monthly income with always security and even their pension, they suddenly are cash strapped, right? Their living quality has decreased, right? So this is an option for them to say, hey, maybe I can live my life a little bit better because of this.
Well, why is this only available to seniors or like over 55?
Well, because that's where the regulation comes in. Yeah, they want to make sure that the right people get their hands on the right product.
It's a support tool.
Yep.
So it's not a like, well, are every mortgage tool support tools? They're business tools.
Well, technically it is, right? It's a support of whatever goal that you're looking for, right? Yeah.
Okay.
And reverse mortgage is one of the tools.
You think standard mortgages are support tools? I guess in some way, but they're also very good income tools for the institutions.
Yeah.
I guess it's just much harder with real estate making cash flow on mortgage tools in Vancouver because the rentals don't reflect the price that you have to spend, right? But for this, because you can take the money and put it in other financial tools, it could make more sense.
Right.
Yeah. reverse mortgages. I'm gonna start stealing some of my parents' money. Oh, you still have to repay the principal eventually. You can't just keep paying the interest.
You repay the principal when you sell your home.
Right, and right now with investing, all you're trying to do is to avoid you're paying off the interest, so you don't have to worry about the interest. That's what investing does.
Right. If you choose to invest, you
Right.
obviously you want the arbitrage
Yeah.
and have a return rate higher than that.
Right.
Then you will cover your interest plus have additional cash.
I see, but for people who really want cash flow, it can't be like I need the money. It has to be, if they want cash flow, they need to take this money out and purely invest it. Because they need to pay off the interest and they need to have additional on their principal.
Right. So there's an element of risk involved in that
Right.
in that sense.
Yeah.
So that's why you want to talk to your financial advisor to see what is the best solution for you.
Right.
Right. If your risk tolerance is high enough to have these high interest rate products or high return products,
Yeah.
then you could dip into that
Yeah,
and make
it's
yourself
not
some
as
money.
it's not as simple as I thought because I forgot that you have to pay back the principal.
Well, the principal you pay back.
I think it makes sense for most people. Like at that point in your life, just you need to get some more money to spend, and yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Well, that's reverse mortgages. If you like this video, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and check out Bernard at where? Where do we check out you?
At concept1financialgroup.com.
Okay, sounds good. All right.